I set the price of my own work, not the market, not the client, not the manager who inherited a budget he did not design. The number I accept is the number I taught the world to offer, and the moment I change what I accept, the world quietly changes what it offers. By the end of this video, you will understand why your income has almost nothing to do with the market and almost everything to do with what you agreed to accept. The price you are paid was not set by the market, it was set by the discount you quietly agreed to accept. You will see the exact mechanism, why the most useful people are so often the worst paid, what happens in the 4 seconds of silence after a number is spoken, and why 2 people with identical skill end up with incomes that are not remotely close. And you will leave with 1 number to set before your next negotiation. Stay with me, because the discount you have been carrying is not on any invoice, it is on you. Start with the question that exposes the whole mechanism. Why is water cheap and a diamond expensive? Water keeps you alive, a diamond does nothing at all. By every measure of usefulness, water should command the higher price. And yet a person will hand over a year of income for a stone that serves no function. The reason is not value in the moral sense, the reason is availability. Water is everywhere, so it costs nothing. Diamonds require depth, effort, and extraction, so they cost everything. Water is useful and water is cheap. Now hold that against the way you have built your working life. You made yourself useful, endlessly, reliably useful. You answered on the first ring. You said yes to the extra task, the weekend request, the favor outside your role. You believed, sincerely, that being the most useful person in the room would eventually be rewarded, because that is what you were taught. And instead, you became the water, essential, taken for granted, and priced accordingly. Not because anyone conspired against you, but because a resource that is always available never has to be paid for properly. Understand this clearly, because it is where most people misread the lesson. The answer is not to become less useful, or to withhold your work, or to play games with your availability. That is a trap that costs you your character and gains you nothing. The answer is that usefulness alone was never the pricing mechanism. Price is set by what the buyer believes it costs to lose you, and you have spent years teaching everyone around you that losing you costs nothing, because you were never going anywhere and you never asked for more. Keep being excellent, keep being reliable, those build the value. But value and price are 2 separate things, and the gap between them is filled entirely by what you are willing to state and hold. Watch what happens in the 4 seconds after a number is spoken. A number gets spoken, and then there is silence. That silence is where every income is decided. The person who is comfortable inside it holds their number. The person who is uncomfortable fills it, and almost always fills it downward. They add a softener. They say they are flexible. They explain why the number is what it is, and the explanation itself is the discount, because a price that needs defending sounds like a price that can be moved. 4 seconds of discomfort, repeated across a career, is the difference between 2 entirely different lives. And here is the part that stings, because it removes the last excuse. Nobody decided your income in a meeting you were not invited to. It was decided in 1,000 small moments where you set the terms and then quietly undercut them yourself. The invoice you rounded down before sending because the full amount felt greedy. The raise you did not ask for because the timing was never right. The extra work you absorbed without a word because mentioning it felt awkward. Each of those is a lesson delivered to the people paying you, and the lesson is always the same. This one accepts less, and people are very good students of what you accept. Picture 2 people with identical skill and identical results. Same competence, same output, same years of experience. One of them names a number and then stops talking. The other names a number and immediately adds that they are open to discussing it. Within a year, the gap is noticeable. Within 5, it is structural, because every subsequent offer is anchored to the last one accepted, and the one who kept discounting has built a documented history of accepting less. Their salary is not a reflection of their ability, it is a record of their agreements. And this is not confined to salaries. It runs through every price you set. The freelancer who quotes low to be safe and then resents the project. The business owner who has not raised prices in 4 years while every cost around them rose. The professional who does the senior work under a junior title because asking to be reclassified feels presumptuous. In every case, the market did not decide. A person decided, privately, that asking for the true number was more uncomfortable than living with the smaller one. And notice the strange arithmetic of that trade. The discomfort of asking lasts about 4 seconds. The cost of not asking lasts as long as the arrangement does, which is often years. People routinely accept a decade of being underpaid to avoid 4 seconds of feeling awkward, and they do it without ever seeing the exchange written down. Write it down once, and it becomes almost impossible to keep making. So here is the practice, and it comes down to one number. Choose one place where you are currently underpriced. 1. Your salary, your rate, your fee, whichever is clearest. Then write down the number you would ask for if you were not managing anyone else's reaction. That number is almost never wild. It is usually the honest one you have been rounding down. Write it and treat it as a floor rather than a target, because a target is something you negotiate toward, and a floor is something you do not go beneath. Then commit to 2 rules for the next conversation where it matters. You state the number plainly, and you do not explain it. And when the silence comes, you let it sit. The silence is not a problem to solve. It is the moment your price gets tested, and holding it is the entire skill. The discount was never on your invoice. It was in the belief that the honest number would sound like too much coming from you. That belief was installed long before any employer met you, and it will keep pricing your work for the rest of your life unless you name it and remove it. You are not asking the world for a favor when you state your worth. You are correcting an error you introduced yourself. Set the floor tonight. Say it out loud once, so the number stops feeling foreign in your own mouth. And then hold it, calmly, the next time it is tested. I set the price of my own work, and from today, the world learns a different number. A year from now, your income will reflect the number you started refusing to go below this week. Subscribe and walk there with me. Like this video, share it, and tell me in the comments what your new floor is.